Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about the chapter Molecular Basis of Inheritance, which is in class 12 CBSE syllabus, and part here focuses on the RNA world. Okay, so let's progress through the video and then we'll also see what are the kind of potential questions that can be there in the NIT examination. So the genetic information was first carried by RNA, way before in evolution, RNA was considered to be the genetic material. It is believed that both DNA and protein were absent at early stages in evolution of life. There was no DNA, there was no protein. It was just the RNA world. And life at this stage is described as RNA world, way before evolution, in early stages of evolution. And these molecules, they were able to self-replicate, RNA was capable of self-replicating, and it was also involved in many important life processes such as metabolism reactions, translation, splicing, etc. So it had a lot of catalytic roles. It was capable of self-replicating. There was no DNA and protein at that time, and therefore this world was called as RNA world, where no DNA and protein existed, but this was at early stages in evolution. Okay, RNA functioned both as a catalyst for some biochemical reactions instead of protein enzymes as well as genetic material. So RNA functioned both as catalyst for some reactions instead of protein as well as the genetic material. So it had dual functions: genetic material, catalyst, and various important life processes such as metabolism, translation, and splicing. So this was the RNA world, which was in early stages of evolution. A few reactions such as cleavage and ligation of phosphodiester bonds required for RNA splicing and formation of peptide bonds during protein synthesis are catalyzed by naturally occurring RNA. A lot of information. So what is cleavage? There is a molecule, you cleave it into half. So this is cleavage. Ligation, you join them together back. Okay, as the name suggests, cleavage and ligation. But a few reactions such as cleavage and ligation of the phosphodiester bond required for RNA splicing. We will study about RNA splicing in subsequent parts in much more detail, okay? And formation of peptide bond during protein synthesis. We know we have various amino acids, and these amino acids have peptide bonds, amino acid 1, amino acid 2, amino acid 3, and so on, and ultimately they form a protein. So even this reaction is catalyzed by naturally occurring RNA. So RNA is very important, it has a lot of catalytic roles. During evolution, the functions of catalysis and information storage were taken over by protein and DNA respectively. Okay, so these catalytic functions were taken over by protein and information storage or the genetic information by DNA. And slowly, RNA primarily functioned to transmit the genetic information. Earlier in evolution, it functioned to transmit the genetic information. It was the genetic information, but now it functioned to transmit the genetic information. Proteins gradually took over some of the functions of RNA, and the RNA world was slowly transformed into RNA protein world. Okay, so once evolution took place, so the function of catalysis was taken by protein and information storage by DNA, and RNA primarily functioned to transmit the genetic information. We remember the central dogma: DNA to RNA, RNA to protein. So here, you can see that RNA serves as for transmitting the genetic information. And proteins gradually took over some functions of RNA, and RNA world transformed into an RNA protein world. RNA was unstable as it was reactive. Hence, with evolution, DNA evolved from RNA by chemical modification to make it more stable. In the previous part, we saw that there is ribose sugar in case of RNA and there is deoxyribose sugar in case of DNA. And because of the presence of this 2' OH here, RNA is very reactive. It is very unstable. It can be degraded easily. So what happened during evolution is that this ribose sugar got converted into deoxyribose, and you see now there is only H. There is no oxygen, there is no OH, as a result of which DNA is much more stable and very less reactive. Okay, so there were chemical modifications that took place in the RNA ribose sugar to convert to deoxyribose sugar in DNA. Eventually, the process of replication became more complex, requiring large number of components. Okay, we'll see this in subsequent parts of this chapter, the process of replication. DNA is double-stranded, we all know that, and has complementary strand. We also know that. If we know the sequence of one strand, we can determine that of the other strand. It also shows the process of repair, that further adds to its stability. So sometimes we'll see it in the replication. What happens is that there are some problems, For example, it can accidentally incorporate a wrong base. So then it also has its own process of repair, which further adds to stability of DNA. Okay, so instead of, in addition to replication, it also has repair properties. With evolution, RNA was probably replaced by DNA as the genetic material. The RNA protein world thus transformed into the present DNA RNA protein world, which is also the central dogma, as we know. The evolution of DNA may have required only two types of enzymes, and this is where sometimes they can ask you the NIT examination questions. So this ribonucleotide reductase to convert ribonucleotides into deoxyribonucleotides. And what they mean by this, we recently saw that there was this ribose sugar where there is 2' OH. So this ribonucleotide reductase here. So the ribonucleotide reductase converts it into deoxyribose, and this is much more stable, much less reactive. Okay, and then reverse transcriptase to transcribe RNA into DNA. So we know, right, what is the central dogma? The central dogma is DNA to RNA and RNA to proteins. But there are some cases where the central dogma is not followed. When is that? When RNA is converted to DNA. Sometimes they can also ask you these kinds of questions. For example, when is the central dogma not followed? So we know one very good example, right? In case of viruses. Yeah, in case of viruses, RNA is converted to DNA. Okay. So then when RNA is converted to DNA, it is reverse transcriptase. Okay, in some viruses that are RNA viruses, not all viruses are RNA viruses, but certain RNA viruses, RNA is converted to DNA. But anyways, that is entirely a different question that can be asked. But here you should know that the evolution of DNA may have required only two types of enzymes. One is ribonucleotide reductase. Why? To convert ribonucleotides into deoxyribonucleotides, which is the ribose sugar in RNA, that had this 2' OH. So ribonucleotide reductase converts it to deoxyribose present in DNA molecule. And the second is reverse transcriptase to transcribe RNA into DNA. So it is very important that you know these two enzymes, because in the NIT examination sometimes they can ask you this question. Thank you for watching the video.